Welcome to my monthly archives. I'm Romane and I travel in my van with my cat Yuki and my boyfriend all around Europe. This is my personal collection of the tiny moments I've noticed along the way that actually brought me joy. I hope it inspires you to take notice of your own small things, but mostly I'm just glad you're here to look back with me. What's better way to start this month than by sharing my favorite sanctuary? It was just a little overhung by a road, and yet it was full of wonders. Misty lake views, the sound of cows in the distance, a place busy with wildlife. Our time here was so peaceful, though it wasn't exactly without incident. We had quite the adventures here this morning though. As soon as we woke up we found a dog right by the van. And it's pretty weird because it's not the kind of road you would walk on. And there are no houses nearby, not any we can see at least. And we did try to find the owner of the dog. My boyfriend went and looked around if he saw anyone looking for a dog. But no, there was absolutely no one there. And the dog was actually super friendly. It was a she. Yeah, she was super cute. So we ended up calling the police, which was quite difficult, especially explaining where we were, because it's just the middle of nowhere, you know. In the end, we were able to just text them the GPS coordinates, and yeah, a few minutes later they were there, and they had like a device to scan the chip on the dog, so they were able to find the owner number very quickly. And yeah, then we just waited for her. They didn't really speak English, so I don't really know what happened, but the dog, I guess, managed to escape and ended up here. It all ended well though, so that's nice. The only thing is that Yuki is very scared of dog, and when he ran into the dog outside, he just ran to the closest tree. And then he was a bit scared to come down. I wasn't too worried because it was not a very big tree.
C'est beau ça.
I guess he wasn't so scared because when he was in the tree he definitely seemed to enjoy it. He was just chilling there, taking in the sun, so I think it's alright. I thought this would be a very nice place to share with you my small favorites of the month I've collected so far. I actually have a notebook for that. And in case sometimes I lack inspiration, I wrote some ideas of categories. I'm not sure you can see anything, but it's just small categories I can pick from, and just reading them, I just immediately think of something I saw in the last couple of days that really inspired me or that I found really nice, and that should really be a part of my monthly archives. And so far what I found is a plant, a flower again, because it is springtime and there are so many to choose from. It's actually hard, but I stumbled upon this very tiny and super cute flower. I was just having a nice little walk in this very, very nice place, and yes, there are a couple of them. on the path I'm walking on. And they're so cute! I don't have my camera though, it's not that easy to film such a tiny flower with my phone. And usually I identify plants using an app I have, but I didn't have any signal at the time. So it's fine, I will check on the app this time. Okay, so in French it's called Muscari à grappe. There are so many, a little bit everywhere. I think they're really so cute. I can imagine like a fairy picking this flower to decorate her house or something. This next detail is about a specific light and a view. We found ourselves parked by a canal, and I loved watching the water flow from my window. It's almost felt like we were parked on the water itself. But what I loved the most was how the water reflected the light back into the van. I could have spent hours just watching the strokes of light dancing on my walls. The next thing I wanted to talk about is actually a sound this time. So yesterday we were at this spot. It was a bit in the mountains, some kind of nature reserve, and I had never heard so many birds in one place. There was so much of them singing.
Ouais.
As I was editing this, I realized that the clips I took with my camera didn't happen when the birds were at their loudest. So I'm also sharing a bit of what I recorded on my phone while I was trying to identify them. The audio quality isn't the best, but I wanted to share as much of it as I technically could. It's never quite as good as being there in person, but it's the closest I can get to bringing you there with me. I have another app to identify birds, and usually when I use it, um, I get maybe 3 results max, of the birds you hear the most around. But this time I had like a dozen birds that were being identified by the app, and it had never happened to me. It was absolutely amazing hearing all those birds, and when night came, we then started hearing owls and so many frogs. And yeah, this whole evening I felt like I had the first seat to a concert organized by Mother Nature or something, and it was great. I definitely enjoyed it very much. What else did I wanted to talk about? Oh yeah, we also visited this small city called Neja, which was a very cute, typical seaside town of Andalusia. But this day there was this very peculiar atmosphere around. There was some kind of, not a mist, but more like a white veil that made everything feel a bit dreamlike. And at the same time the sea was rough and there were so many waves, and it really felt like I was stepping in a dream, and I had so much fun photographing this town. It gave such a vibe to my photos. It's definitely one of my favorite visits and atmosphere of the month.
It was a brand new start. You stole my heart away. I took
This place is just so gorgeous. All those views, those birds, those flowers, those trees. We actually stayed a day longer than planned, but we do have to leave tomorrow, which is sad. I kinda want to go back in Spain just to spend more time here and explore the area more. Honestly, I think I want to live somewhere similar later in my life. Just somewhere with some, variations, not super flat, and a large body of water preferably, and yeah, lots and lots and lots of trees and flowers.
Every once in a while in van life, you find a spot that really lingers in your thoughts. The kind of place where you truly feel at home, where everything feels like a wonder, and you wish you could stay and explore it for days on end. This spot was one of those for me, and I'm so grateful I was able to call it home, even if just for a little while. Won't you please walk through life with me? And I wish I knew that those were the good old days. Somehow you always knew that we'd be okay. Let's watch the sun go down on this lonely neighborhood and laugh again the way only we could. Before you go, please share some of your own wonders from this month with me, big or small. I'd love to hear about them. I will see you next time.